Hey everyone, welcome back to Llamas Creations DIY. My name is Tammy. I am, yet again, in another challenge. Yes, I'm doing lots of challenges, working on something new. For this challenge, it's called Unconventional Materials Craft Challenge, using unconventional materials, hosted by Blondie Next Door and Olia DIY Adventures. Let's start crafting. So I'm starting off with a bunch of lids from jars. Just random sizes, and I'm starting off with about 10. First, what I'm going to do is put a bit into my drill, and I'm going to drill a hole in every single one of my lids, just like so. Then, to make sure, because there's little pointy thingies on the bottom, I just took a pair of little clippers and clipped off the little edges, so that way I don't scratch myself, or if anyone touches it, they don't scratch themselves. Now I'm going to paint all of them with my DIY chalk paint, just to give them all a base coat. Base coat, not coast. Then I'm going to paint 3 with this yellow. I'm going to paint 2 with this silver. I'm going to paint 2 in the gold, 1 in the neon green, 1 in the neon pink, and 1 in the neon blue. And they're all painted. Now I was going through my stash and I was looking for anything shiny and clear and sparkly. So I found some clear rocks and I went into my Totally Dazzled items and picked out some blue items. And then those little shiny ones are from Co-Beads. And then a few things from my stash from Dollarama. And then this bling wrap is also from Totally Dazzled. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this bling wrap around. I don't think I do all of them. I think I leave 2 because I ran out. But I'm going to wrap them all around the edges, just like so. Then I'm just going to choose and pick, there's no rhyme or reason, and start gluing all these sparkly things on. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm not have any clue really what I'm doing. I'm just picking and sticking. The host and the co-host links to the channel will be in the description box along with the playlist. I hope everybody goes and checks everything out. Now I'm cutting off 10 pieces of this nylon rope, and doesn't matter what size. I went long, small, doesn't matter. And now what I'm going to do is tie a bunch of knots in the bottom to make sure it doesn't go through that hole. First I push it through the hole, and then put it aside and do all the others the exact same way. Tie a bunch of knots, a little bit of glue in between the knots, make sure it doesn't go through, and we're done. Now I have this key ring. You could pick them up at Dollarama, and I believe the Dollar Tree has them too, just blank key rings. And I'm going to tie every single one of these onto it. And again, I put a little bit of hot glue in between the knots. And again, no rhyme or reason. I just tied them all on. And then, of course, cut off any of the extra little strings. And when you're done that, this project is done. I had, it was pretty snowy outside and gloomy. I wanted to do this in the sun so you could see the sun sparkle off all the glitter, but basically it's like a wind charm. Wind chime? Wind charm. Wind chime. But I like it. It's cute. We'll see how it works in the summer when I can finally hang it. Next project. So I have this Epsom salt container. What I did is I drew a door, basically a hole with a marker, then cut it out with my knife, and then I used my scissors to go do the round parts. I forgot to record this part, so I'm showing you here on the back side. And I'm just cutting the rest out with my scissors, and I have a hole on both sides. Now what I'm going to do is take some dark purple and some baking soda. My baking soda was chunky, so I had to smoosh it up. Mix it all together. And I have a consistency just more a little bit liquidier than brownie batter. And I'm going to paint 3/4 of this jug, just going above the hole that I cut and on the way down. And then the top part, I'm going to do this light purple, and I mix the paint the same way I did the dark purple one, and I'm going to paint the rest of the jug. And to I just blended the two lines together so there wasn't that harsh line in between, and I just, a wet brush, rubbed over the lines to blend it together. Then for the third coat, I did 2 coats like that. I took another brush and I went around in circles to give it a little more texture, and I kind of like that. And then we let it dry. While that's drying, I'm taking my hot glue gun and the lid to this container, and I'm just pushing it through the plastic of it on both ends to open up a hole. This was the easiest way I could think to do it, and it was easy. Taking some jute string, I'm going to cut off a piece. Doesn't matter how long, however long you want it. String it through the one side, pull it through so it's looped underneath. Pull it up so the strings meet, and tie it in a double knot, and trim off any of the extra. And you've got something to hang it with. Excuse me. Now that it's all dry, I'm going to take my black Sharpie and just draw some flowers all around the jug. This was the fastest, easiest flower I could think to draw. So that's what I did. Then I'm going to paint them in with this orange, this light pink, yellow, and this light blue. And ta-da, they're done. Then taking the light pink, I decided to outline the little doors. Now, taking the lid, putting it back on, I'm going to take this bigger jute rope. I'm going to start on the corner or on the edge there, and then I'm going to glue the first round all the way around. And then I'm going to wrap it, I think I do it 3 or 4 times. Cut it off, and then I glue that end down as well. And just with some hot glue. Then taking another piece, I'm going to make a fairly big finger bow, just a single loop. I'm going to glue it into the center. And then with the strings, the tails, I glue them around as well, just to hold it into place a little longer. And I start and end the glue in the same spot where I did the rest. And when you're finished that, this project is complete as well. Cute little bird feeder. And there it is. And when I get some bird seed, I'll put some bird seed in there. And when it's a little nicer outside, not so cold, I'll go and hang it in a tree. These are super easy, super cheap, as in money-wise, and fun to make. Anyone can make these. I would like to thank Blondie Next Door and Olea DIY Adventures for hosting this challenge. It was a lot of fun to make, and hopefully I did it right. If you're new to my channel, I'd like to say welcome. If you could, please hit this like button, subscribe, and don't forget that little bell. It sure does help me out. If you're returning, hi, welcome back. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. We'll see you again later. Bye.